closing south yesterday. Let's wrap them up for you. The BRVM 10 index closed trading at 237 points. That's down just over 0.6%. Meanwhile, the all-share index, the BRVM composite, also shed some of the recent gains this week. It was down just under 0.6% as well to 210 points. 20 out of 37 listed stocks were traded and at a value of 223 million CFA francs. The currency for the region remains unchanged at 499.3 to the US dollar. And moving on to Ghana, the GSE composite index closed trading at 1,893 points. That's down 0.7%, keeping its year-to-date change at 57.8%. On the other hand, the GSE financial stock index closed trading at 1,611 points, also down just over 1%. Year-to-date, that index is up 55%. Looking at some of the corporates out of the Ghana market, Cal declared 0.006 CD dividend per share. And moving on to Nigeria, we did see the NSE all-share index also down. Like I said, all the markets in West Africa down on the day, down about 0.46% to 36,963 points. So falling below 37,000 for the first time in a while. Yet today, the market is still up 32%. The losers on the day included May and Baker, Nimeth, DN Mia, GNI, and Ikeja Hotels. We did, however, see a few gainers, including Livestock Feeds in the insurance sector. Prestige also closed higher, and Airline Services and Learnafrica were also in the green on the day. Moving on to the Naira weakened on the day to 161.1 to the US dollar. And let's now cross to Stanbic IBTC, where Dolapo Akoni, an analyst at Stanbic IBTC Stockbrokers, is standing by to talk us through her thoughts on the market. Dolapo, it's good to have you on our show. And like I just mentioned, the Naira was weaker yesterday, closing at 161.1. It's something I'm sure a lot of foreign investors are beginning to be a little worried about. Can you just talk us through the sentiment for equities and how you can link that to the recent weakness in the Naira?
Good morning, Wally, and thank you for having me this morning. Market was down yesterday. ASI lost 0.47%. We still see profit-taking activities continue in the market. We expect that might continue into today, and it might also continue into next week. People still want to take some profit from the market still. And looking at that, we feel that in the middle of all of these things happening, it creates an opportunity for valued investors to come into the market and take up some position in the market. Okay,
but we'll come back to the opportunities. But if we can come back to that point I was trying to make about foreign investors, your thoughts on how they're reading this market. Do you think that they're cautious given the weakness we're seeing in the Naira, or are they more aggressive? We did see 5 billion Naira worth of trades on the day. So on average, that seems like a pretty solid day in terms of volumes. But your thoughts on how foreign investors are playing the market right now?
The mood of the market is still very quiet. It's still very soft. Market will still continue to lose some points. But in the middle of it, we still some people come into the market and try to take some positions still. And I feel that this creates an opportunity really for investors to start coming and buying. The offshore clients are still in the market. They're still buying, though some of them are also still taking some profit, but not aggressively. I think the aggression now should start coming in from the buying side of the market.
All right. What about the local institutional investors? How aggressive are they in your view?
Not very aggressive in selling, really, just participating in the market. But at the same time, they're also looking at good levels to start coming into the market. We expect them also to come back at these current levels.
Okay, let's touch some stocks, particularly in the banking sector. The banking sector is where a lot of people, I think, agree that there is value in this market. So starting with the tier one names, how are you reading the opportunities in that space? Because the market has fallen back quite a bit. Some of those stocks also have come down. The likes of UBA has shed significant value. Your thoughts on the opportunities in the tier one banking space?
The recent sell-off in the banking sector actually presents an opportunity for new entry and even for people holding position already to try to consolidate some of their position by buying more shares. In the tier one banks, looking at, in the banking index, for the month of June was down 3%, and even quarter to date down 3%, year to date down 21%. That creates a very good opportunity. In the tier 1 names, we'll still like First Bank, GT Bank, and Zenith Bank. First Bank present 22% upside from the current levels. Zenith Bank present 23% upside, and even GT Bank present 21% upside. So with all of this, it looks very good, and we advise that clients should start coming in and take position, especially clients that are willing to stay in the medium to long term.
Do you expect that they would rally when we see results released in July, particularly the tier 1 banks?
Yeah, particularly in the tier 1 banks, we were still very positive. And just like I've said, especially around First Bank, Guaranty Trust Bank, and Zenith Bank.
All right. What about the tier 2 names, the likes of Diamond, Fidelity? Where are the opportunities in that space for you?
Yeah, because we advise clients to also mix their portfolio with some of the tier 2 names. We're positive in Diamond because Diamond from the current levels still present 35% upside in price, which is quite huge. We know that's a topic in that sector, in the tier 2.
Okay, your thoughts on the likes of Fidelity? A lot of people say that there is value in that stock as well.
Yeah, in Fidelity, yes. In Access, yes. Just like I've said, some of them at some point, like for the tier 1, we have an old recommendation, but because of the kind of hits they've had year to date, that's why we're improving to a buy recommendation. Diamond, we're very optimistic. Fidelity is okay. Investors can still take some position in that as well.
Okay, let's look at the broader market and the profit taking that we've been seeing recently. Some people say it's actually a little bit of fear. Your thoughts on how much more we may see going forward? There's a lot of volatility in global markets. Nigeria is impacted by that. So your expectations going forward, I would like to see a lot more profit taking.
The volatility will continue, and but looking at Nigerian economy and looking at the kind of what we foresee for the economy, if everything is still stable economy-wise, we still feel that Nigeria is still a very good place to still bring money because of the long-term view that we have for this country. For the banks, they will still do well. Even for the H1 result that we're expecting, it should start trickling in by third week of July. We expect those ones to be positive, and it should spur investment opportunity, actually.
How much higher do you think this market will end the year, Dolapo? It's up about 32% year to date. It's falling below the 37,000 mark yesterday. It hit 40,000 not too long ago. What are your expectations?
To be conservative, market should be up around 30% for the year.